Hi there, this is Mr. Jones, and I'd like to help you today with solving multi-step equations. Right? Suppose, to begin with, a gardener is planning to build a fence around his garden using 44 feet of fencing material. One end of his garden is adjacent to a wall that's 12 feet long. So we have a wall running along here, and he's simply going to take his fencing material and he's going to begin making his fence to make a rectangular enclosure. So notice that he only needs 3 sides of his rectangle to enclose his garden. Okay? So one end of his garden is adjacent to a wall that's 12 feet long. Okay? If he uses the 44 feet of fencing for the remaining 3 sides, how long will his garden be? Okay, well, you'll notice that if he is building his fence in a rectangle and he has one wall that's 12 feet long, then of course the opposite wall or the opposite fence for his garden is going to be 12 feet long as well. So I know one of the dimensions. What I don't know then is the length of his garden. Okay? So what I need to do is begin by relating the problem into words that expresses what's going on. So basically I have 3 sides of a rectangle, and I have the length of one side plus the width, 12 feet, plus the length of the other side has to equal the total length of the fencing that's available to him. Okay, so once I have written that out, then I can go ahead and define the unknown variable. Or I should say use a variable to represent the unknown amount. Okay, so I've selected x here for my variable, and I'm going to let x equal the length of each side. And you'll notice there are 2 places where the side is equal to x, but x represents the same amount in each case because I have a rectangle and opposite sides of the rectangle are equal. So I don't need 2 separate variables, I just need one to represent both unknown values. Okay? X is the length of each side. So once I've done that, then now I can go ahead and write out my equation. So I have the length of one side, well, that's x, the unknown, plus the width, 12, plus the length of the other side is equal to the total length of fencing available, and that was 44. Okay, so there is my equation. X plus 12 plus x is equal to 44. Okay, well, in general, in any type of equation, whether it's 2 steps or multiple steps, what I want to begin by doing is simplifying as much as I can on both sides or on each side of the equal sign. Okay, so I've taken this equation, x plus 12 plus x equals 44. On the right side, there's nothing I can do to simplify it. But on the left side, there are like terms, x and x, that can be combined. Right? So what I'm going to do is begin by, in the first step, simplifying the left side of the equation by adding x plus x. And that just gives me 2x. Okay? So now I have the equation 2x plus 12 is equal to 44. And notice this looks very much like the 2-step equations that we solved earlier. So now after I have simplified the equation in the first step, I can go ahead and solve it like we did earlier. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to subtract 12 from each side of the equation. Okay, so I have 2x plus 12 minus 12 is equal to 44 minus 12, and then I simply simplify that. Right, plus 12 minus 12 is 0, so it leaves me with 2x. 44 minus 12 is equal to 32, so I have the new equation 2x is equal to 32. I want to know what x is, so I'm going to then take the next step and divide each side by 2. 2 goes into 2 one time, that leaves me with 1x, which is what I want, and 2 goes into 32, 16. Okay, so when I simplify, it gives me x. The length of that rectangular fence is equal to 16 feet. Okay? That should give you the tools that you need for this particular section. Work well and work carefully.